Have you ever wondered why your path feels different? Why the world never seems to understand the weight you carry inside? Have you ever felt that your very existence is tied to something far greater than what meets the eye? If these words reach you today, it is not an accident. This message has found you at the exact moment it was meant to. Chosen one, you are here because heaven has aligned your steps, and what I am about to share with you may very well change the way you see yourself forever. There is a rare sign that only 1% of the chosen carry. It is not common, it is not ordinary, and it is not something that can be faked. This sign is sacred, stamped by the hand of God Himself, and it has marked you for a divine purpose. If your spirit resonates as you listen, I want you to comment 777 below, so I know this truth is reaching the right souls. And if you are truly chosen, don't hesitate. Subscribe this very moment, tap that bell icon, and share this message. Don't wait. This is your sign, your divine light, and your confirmation that God's hand is on your life. Stay with me, because the breakthrough hidden in these words is meant for you. Have you ever wondered why your path feels different? Why the world never seems to understand the weight you carry inside? Have you ever felt that your very existence is tied to something far greater than what meets the eye? If these words reach you today, it is not an accident. This message has found you at the exact moment it was meant to. Chosen one, you are here because heaven has aligned your steps. And what I am about to share with you may very well change the way you see yourself forever. There is a rare sign that only 1% of the chosen carry. It is not common, it is not ordinary, and it is not something that can be faked. This sign is sacred, stamped by the hand of God Himself, and it has marked you for a divine purpose. If your spirit resonates as you listen, I want you to comment 777 below, so I know this truth is reaching the right souls. And if you are truly chosen, don't hesitate. Subscribe this very moment, tap that bell icon, and share this message. Don't wait. This is your sign, your divine light, and your confirmation that God's hand is on your life. 19. Stay with me, because the breakthrough hidden in these words is meant for you. Foundation of the rare sign. Chosen one. Before we can speak of the rare sign itself, we must first build a foundation of understanding. This is not just a story or a simple explanation, it is a course in the deepest truths of the Spirit, one that you were meant to hear, one that will help you finally make sense of why you feel the way you do in this world. For generations, the chosen have been misunderstood, labeled as outcasts, or even silenced because their very presence disturbed the comfort of ordinary people. And yet, hidden in that struggle, in that quiet difference, lies the key to this rare sign. The first truth you must accept is this: being chosen is not about privilege, it is about purpose. It is not about standing above others, but about carrying something inside of you that the world cannot quite name. Think of it as a divine spark, a hidden imprint placed on your spirit before you even entered this life. Many feel called, but only a few carry this deeper seal, and within that few only a tiny fraction, barely 1%, hold this rare and extraordinary sign. That is what makes it precious. That is what makes it holy. Imagine the world as a vast field of stars. Each star shines in its own way, but a very rare few burn with a light so distinct that it cannot be mistaken. That light is not brighter simply for the sake of brightness. It carries a different frequency, a vibration that changes everything around it. If you are chosen, you may have felt it in moments when you couldn't explain why people are drawn to you, or perhaps even why they resist you without reason. That energy, unspoken and unseen, is the foundation of the rare sign. Now let's bring this closer to home. Have you ever felt as though no matter how much you try to blend in, something always sets you apart? Maybe in school, you were never quite like the others. Maybe in relationships, people found you both fascinating and intimidating. Or maybe in silence, alone with your own thoughts, you felt the undeniable weight of being different. This is not by chance. It is not an error. It is the unfolding of destiny. The rare sign cannot grow in a heart that is meant to remain ordinary. It can only rest in the vessel of someone who was chosen before the foundation of time. But here is where the challenge begins. The world does not often recognize or celebrate what is rare. In fact, most people resist it, because the rare sign carries truth, and truth disrupts illusions. You may have felt rejected, misunderstood, or even betrayed by those you trusted most. You may have asked God, "Why me? Why this life? Why these battles?" But, chosen one, let me tell you this. Rejection was never your punishment, it was your protection. Every door that closed on you, every person that walked away, was clearing space for this divine imprint to take root. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil. If the soil is too crowded, the seed cannot grow. In the same way, your life had to be cleared of excess, of false connections, of shallow relationships, so that the rare sign could emerge unchallenged, strong, and undeniable. You may not see it now, but when you look back, you will realize that every painful ending was a sacred beginning. That is the way the Creator shapes those who carry the 1% mark. So why is this sign so rare? Because it demands a life of truth. Many people crave comfort, but the chosen crave meaning. Many people run from suffering, but the chosen endure it because they sense that something holy is being refined in the fire. It is not easy to hold this sign because it sets you apart. It means you cannot simply go along with the crowd. Your spirit resists conformity. Your soul longs for higher things. And while others may chase temporary pleasures, you find yourself searching for eternal truths. That very hunger, that very refusal to settle, is evidence of the rare imprint forming within you. This is why so many chosen ones feel an inner restlessness. You know deep inside that you cannot waste your life. You know there is something greater waiting, though you may not always see the full picture. That restlessness is holy. It is the divine pulling you toward the reality of who you were meant to become. And though it may sometimes feel like a burden, it is in fact your greatest blessing. Now listen closely. The rare sign does not come by chance. It is not given because of effort, achievement, or talent. It is placed on those who were appointed long before their first breath. It is a mystery, but it is also a promise that God trusted you with something He could not give to just anyone. That is why it often feels heavy, why the battles come, and why the loneliness persists. It is because you are carrying something eternal within you. So stay with me. Because as we go deeper into this message, the next section will unlock the signs, the unmistakable spiritual markers that confirm God has His hand on your life. You don't want to miss it, because what you hear next may be the very evidence your soul has been asking God to reveal. And I want to ask you right here and now, does this resonate with your spirit? Do you feel that restless pull, that holy difference that refuses to be silenced? If you do, leave a comment below. Let this be your testimony. Write 444, the number of divine protection, if you know God has preserved you for a reason greater than yourself. Chosen one, this is not just knowledge, it is preparation. What you are hearing now is meant to strengthen you, to remind you that you are not broken, you are chosen. You are not lost, you are marked. And soon, as we unveil the rare sign itself, you will understand why your life has felt like anything but ordinary. This is the foundation. And without it, the mystery of the 1% could never make sense. The rare sign explained. Chosen one. Now that you understand the sacred foundation, it's time to uncover the rare sign itself. Remember, this is not something you stumble upon by chance. It is not the kind of sign that can be learned in books or mimicked by those who hunger for attention. No, this rare sign is written into the very essence of your spirit. It is the undeniable evidence that you were set apart before you were even born. The rare sign is divine inner knowing, an unshakable awareness that you do not belong to this world, but you were sent here for it. It is that deep sense, often from childhood, that your spirit carried a weight others didn't understand. Even when you tried to fit in, you couldn't. Even when you forced yourself to walk the path of the crowd, something inside you resisted. That something was God's fingerprint on your soul. When you carry this sign, you carry a light that cannot be dimmed. People notice it even when you wish they wouldn't. Sometimes they admire you without knowing why, and other times they reject you because the truth you carry unsettles their illusions. But whether through love or opposition, you are recognized because your very presence confronts the atmosphere. This sign often reveals itself in moments of solitude. Have you ever sat alone, far from the noise of the world, and suddenly felt waves of clarity wash over you? Thoughts that seem not your own, but higher, wiser, almost whispered from eternity. That is the sign manifesting. It is the awareness that you are guided, even when you cannot explain it. It is the feeling that someone, something, walks with you at all times, protecting, instructing, molding. And this knowing is costly. Only 1% of chosen ones can carry it because it requires sacrifice. It requires that you walk through seasons of pain without losing hope. It requires you to endure rejection, misunderstanding, and betrayal without hardening your heart. It requires you to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. And because of this, you have likely felt more resistance in your life than most people around you. Doors have shut, relationships have crumbled, plans have failed. Yet you always find yourself standing again, stronger than before. Why? Because the rare sign will not let you collapse permanently. God's hand will always lift you back up. Think about how many times you survived what should have destroyed you. Accidents, heartbreaks, storms, things that crushed others did not break you. That resilience is not ordinary. It is a signature of the divine. It is proof that heaven has invested in you. When you carry the rare sign, even your scars testify. They don't remind you of weakness. They remind you of how chosen you truly are. Another way this sign shows itself is through heightened perception. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the energy shift? Have you ever sensed what others were thinking without them saying a word? This is not paranoia. It is discernment. It is the gift of spiritual sensitivity. You see, the rare sign sharpens your inner vision, allowing you to detect what is hidden beneath the surface. Most people live only by what their eyes can see, but those with this sign navigate by what their spirit reveals. And because of this, you may often feel alienated. People may label you too sensitive or too different. They may not understand why certain conversations, environments, or even friendships drain you so quickly. But you know better. You know when your spirit is being pulled away from what is not aligned with your destiny. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is divine protection. It keeps you from walking into traps the enemy set for you. It keeps you from being swallowed by what others would fall for. That, dear chosen one, is one of the clearest indicators of this rare sign. But let us go deeper still. This rare sign does not only manifest inwardly, it changes the way life interacts with you. Have you noticed that people confess things to you, even strangers, as if you were a safe place? Have you noticed that children, animals, and the vulnerable are drawn to you instinctively? This is no coincidence. The rare sign makes you a vessel of light, a mirror of divine compassion. People may not understand why they feel safe around you, but their spirit recognizes the light that you carry. And yet, with this gift comes a heavy burden, because when you carry the rare sign, darkness notices you too. This is why you've been attacked so many times, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. This is why nightmares, spiritual warfare, and sudden waves of heaviness often come against you. You were never just another soul passing through life. You were marked from the beginning, and that mark makes you both a target and a vessel of divine power. Let me reassure you, though, if you carry this rare sign, you are not meant to fear the darkness. The presence of resistance is proof of your value. Think of a treasure chest buried deep underground. Thieves do not chase after empty boxes. They go after what holds priceless jewels. In the same way, the resistance you've faced is confirmation that you hold something sacred inside you. You carry something the world desperately needs, and that is why only 1% are chosen to bear it. And here's where it gets even more powerful. This rare sign aligns you with divine timing. Have you noticed how certain doors open for you at the exact moment you need them most? How even in chaos, miracles seem to intervene at the last second? That is not luck. That is alignment. Those with the rare sign walk with a spiritual magnetism that draws provision, protection, and opportunity right when it seems impossible. Your steps are ordered, your path is guarded, and your destiny is sealed. Chosen one. As you hear these words, I want you to pause and reflect. Does your spirit recognize what I'm saying? Do you feel the confirmation deep inside you, beyond logic, beyond explanation? If so, comment 333 below, because this is your soul resonating with divine truth. This is not just another video you happened to click. This is the evidence that you have been asking God for. So stay with me, because as we go deeper into this message, the next section will unlock the signs, the unmistakable spiritual markers that confirm God has His hand on your life. You don't want to miss it, because what you hear next may be the very evidence your soul has been asking God to reveal. The struggles of carrying the sign. Chosen one. Now that you know the rare sign and how it reveals itself, we must step into a harder truth, the struggles that come with carrying it. This path is not easy. In fact, that is why so few can bear it. When God marks you with something rare, the weight of it often feels like too much for a single soul to hold. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still carrying what only 1% were trusted with. One of the first struggles is loneliness. You may have noticed that no matter how many people surround you, you often feel misunderstood. You can be in a crowded room, laughing and smiling, yet deep down, there is a knowing that no one truly sees you. This isn't because something is wrong with you. It is because your soul vibrates at a frequency most cannot hear. The rare sign isolates, not to punish you, but to protect you. If everyone understood you, you would risk losing the purity of what God placed inside you. That sense of differentness has been your training ground, shaping you into someone who does not rely on the world's approval. Another struggle is rejection. How many times have you been cast aside, overlooked, or treated as though you didn't belong? People may have turned away from you for reasons you could not explain. Opportunities slipped from your hands right when you thought they were yours. Doors slammed shut without warning. At first, this rejection feels crushing, but later you realize it was divine redirection. The rare sign ensures you cannot settle for less than what God has for you. That is why the wrong people could not stay and the wrong paths would not work. You are chosen, and chosen ones are never allowed to fit into places that would dilute their calling. Carrying this sign also invites spiritual warfare. Make no mistake, darkness notices the light in you. The enemy has tried countless times to suffocate your hope, crush your spirit, or bury your voice. Some of your deepest battles were not against people, but against invisible forces. Nightmares, sudden waves of despair, strange obstacles that appeared out of nowhere. These were not coincidences. They were targeted attempts to silence you before you discovered who you truly are. But here's the victory. Every time the enemy rose against you, you survived. And your survival is not just survival. It is testimony. Each battle you endured added more fire to your spirit, more wisdom to your mind, and more authority to your voice. There is also the struggle of misunderstanding. Many chosen ones are mislabeled, too sensitive, too intense. too serious. People misunderstand your silence, your discernment, your refusal to conform. But what they see as flaws are actually the very traits that make you rare. Your ability to sense what others miss, your unwillingness to blindly follow, your hunger for truth. These are not weaknesses. They are markers of the sign. And though people may mock what they cannot understand, heaven honors it. Financial and physical struggles are often part of this journey too. The chosen with the rare sign may go through seasons of lack, sickness, or instability, not because they are cursed, but because their faith must be forged in fire. When you walk through scarcity, you learn dependence on God. When your body weakens, you learn that your true strength is spiritual. These trials strip away illusions and force you to cling to the divine source that has sustained you all along. But perhaps the hardest struggle of all is the weight of responsibility. Deep down, you know your life is not your own. You cannot live carelessly or ignore the pull in your spirit. The rare sign demands discipline. It calls you to rise when others are sleeping, to listen when others are distracted, to speak when silence would be easier. It can feel heavy, like carrying a crown that no one else can see. And yet, even in the weight, there is a strange peace, because your spirit knows this burden is holy. Chosen one, if you have felt these struggles, you are not alone. Every tear you've cried, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it, every season where you questioned your worth, those were the exact places where God was molding you. You have endured because the rare sign is not just a mark, it is a covenant. It is God's promise that your life has meaning beyond measure. And let me say this, if you have been misunderstood, rejected, and attacked, that is not evidence of weakness. It is evidence that you carry something powerful. It is proof that heaven trusts you with what few can handle. And if your heart resonates with these words, let it be known. Comment 444 below, because even in your struggles, you are divinely seen, divinely protected, and divinely chosen. Stay with me now, because what comes next will shift the way you see these struggles forever. In the next section, we will uncover the true spiritual power behind this rare sign. You'll see that what once felt like a burden is actually your greatest source of strength. And once you understand that, no struggle will ever feel the same again. Chosen one, now that you've seen the struggles that come with carrying the rare sign, let us turn to the truth that transforms everything, the spiritual power hidden within that sign. For too long, many of you have looked at your hardships and wondered why your journey seemed heavier, why your nights seemed darker, why your path was marked with so much resistance. But what if I told you that the very struggles you faced are proof of the immense power you carry? What if I told you that the rare sign is not just a mark of difference, but a wellspring of divine authority flowing through you? The power of this sign begins with connection. Those who carry it walk with a direct line to the source. You may not always feel it in the moment, but you have noticed it in hindsight. Think of the times you found wisdom far beyond your years, words flowing from your mouth that you didn't even plan to say, or ideas that sparked out of nowhere and changed everything. That is the current of divine energy running through you. The rare sign opens you to a spiritual frequency that others cannot access. It tunes your heart to God's whispers, even when the world is shouting in confusion. Another layer of this power is endurance. Most people collapse under pressure, but those with the rare sign rise again and again. Where others see an ending, you find resurrection. That unexplainable strength that carried you through heartbreak, sickness, loss, or betrayal. That was not your own doing. That was the power sealed within you. God never gives the rare sign to fragile spirits. He gives it to those whose roots can grow deep enough to withstand storms. Every time life tried to bury you, the sign within you turned the soil into fertile ground. You are living proof that darkness cannot destroy what heaven has ordained. But let's go deeper. This power does not just protect you, it also magnifies your presence. Have you noticed how certain people light up when you walk into a room, while others grow uneasy or defensive? That's the spiritual power emanating from you. It is not arrogance, it is energy. Those who are aligned with truth feel peace in your presence, while those who cling to lies feel exposed. You may have wondered why strangers open up to you, confess things they've never said aloud, or seek your advice as if they've known you forever. That is because the rare sign makes you a vessel of light. People sense healing, guidance, and safety around you, even when you remain silent. And yet, with this magnetism comes a sacred responsibility. Power without purpose is dangerous. That is why the rare sign comes hand in hand with discipline. God trusts you not only to carry the light, but to direct it wisely. When you speak, your words carry weight. When you act, your influence shifts the atmosphere. This is why you must be mindful of your energy, your choices, your voice. You are not ordinary, and therefore your actions are never without impact. The rare sign also amplifies your discernment. Chosen one. How many times have you known something before it happened? How often have you sensed betrayal before it was revealed, or felt an opportunity coming before it arrived? This is the prophetic edge of the sign. It allows you to see what others cannot see, to hear what others cannot hear, to know what others cannot know. And while this can sometimes feel overwhelming, it is also your greatest safeguard. The enemy cannot deceive those who are spiritually awake. That inner warning you feel when something is off is the rare sign guarding your steps. But perhaps the greatest power of all is transformation. When you carry the rare sign, your very life becomes a testimony. You transform not only yourself, but also those around you. People who encounter you leave changed, even if they don't realize it immediately. Your kindness softens hardened hearts. Your resilience inspires others to rise again. Your faith plants seeds in souls that thought they were barren. You are a living message from God that light is stronger than darkness, hope is stronger than despair, and truth is stronger than deception. This is why, dear chosen one, you cannot measure yourself by worldly standards. Your success is not defined by numbers, fame, or material wealth. Your success is measured by the impact of your spirit, the way heaven moves when you pray, the way chains break when you stand in your authority, the way destiny shifts because you dared to say yes to your calling. That is the spiritual power behind the rare sign. It is not of this world, yet it transforms the world wherever you go. And I must remind you, the presence of opposition is proof of this power. If the rare sign were not potent, the enemy would have left you alone long ago. The very fact that you've been attacked so fiercely is evidence that you are carrying something explosive for the kingdom of God. The rare sign makes you a threat to darkness and a beacon to the lost. That is why you were set apart. That is why you could not blend in. That is why you could not walk the easy road. Chosen one, if you feel the fire of these words resonating within you, comment 333 below. Let the world know that the sign has not only marked you, but also empowered you. Stand boldly in the truth that you are not weak, you are not ordinary, you are not forgotten. You are chosen and chosen with power. So stay with me, because what comes next will take this revelation even further. We will look at how you can recognize and develop this rare sign in your life. Practical steps that allow you to nurture the gift, sharpen your discernment, and rise into the fullness of your destiny. You don't want to miss it, because the wisdom in the next section could unlock the very clarity you've been praying for. How to recognize and develop it. Chosen. 1. We have spoken of the rare sign and the struggles it carries, but now let us step into the realm of awareness. It is one thing to be marked with something divine, but it is another to recognize it within yourself and then nurture it into its full potential. Think of this section as your guidance in a sacred course, showing you how to see the evidence of this gift in your own life and how to grow it with intention. The first step in recognition is stillness. The rare sign often whispers rather than shouts. You recognize it when you allow yourself moments of quiet, free from the distractions of the world. Pay attention to those inner nudges that speak when everything around you is silent. That intuition, that knowing, that sudden awareness of truth, that is your sign revealing itself. Many chosen ones overlook it because it feels so natural, but what is natural to you is extraordinary to others. Another way to recognize it is through the reactions of people around you. When you carry the rare sign, others will respond to you differently. Some may be drawn to you for comfort, while others may avoid you without explanation. Don't dismiss these experiences. They are proof that your spirit is speaking before your mouth ever opens. If you notice that your presence unsettles the false or strengthens the broken, know this: you are walking evidence of God's touch. Developing this rare sign begins with spiritual practices that strengthen your connection to the source. Prayer, meditation, fasting, journaling, and deep reflection are not just routines. They are the nourishment your spirit requires. Through these disciplines, your sensitivity sharpens, your discernment deepens, and your courage grows. Think of them as training exercises for your soul, preparing you to carry your gift with authority. It is also important to surround yourself with environments that honor your calling. The rare sign thrives in purity, but it weakens in toxicity. If you constantly expose yourself to negative people, destructive habits, or faithless spaces, your gift becomes clouded. But when you choose alignment, through uplifting relationships, life-giving words, and spaces filled with peace, you give your sign room to breathe, to grow, to glow. One of the most powerful ways to develop this sign is through service. The gift you carry was never meant to stay hidden. Each time you encourage someone, share wisdom, or offer compassion, you activate the power of your sign. Do not underestimate the simple moments: a kind word to a stranger, a prayer whispered for someone who never asked, a decision to walk in integrity even when no one is watching. These are the ways your gift stretches and strengthens. Chosen one, you must also learn to trust divine timing. The rare sign will not bloom all at once. It unfolds like a seed, hidden, then sprouting, then breaking through the soil, and finally blossoming in full light. Impatience can make you doubt what is already alive within you, but trust this: every season of your life has been perfectly aligned to cultivate your gift. Even the delays, the disappointments, the detours, they were not wasted. They were shaping you, pruning you, preparing you. Recognizing and developing the rare sign also requires courage. You cannot shrink back into the shadows when God has called you to shine. Fear will try to convince you that you are not ready, not worthy, not capable. But listen, fear is always loudest right before breakthrough. When you step out in faith, even in trembling, your gift strengthens. Every act of boldness polishes the mark you carry. And finally, remember this truth: development never ends. As long as you are breathing, your sign is evolving. New layers of wisdom, new depths of strength, new levels of vision will keep unfolding. You are not meant to reach one plateau and stop. You are meant to continue growing, expanding, and radiating. Your journey is lifelong, and every day offers another chance to rise into your divine self. Chosen one, if as you hear these words your spirit recognizes its reflection, let it be known. Comment 999 below. It is your declaration that you are ready to not only see the rare sign within you, but to nurture it into its fullest expression. Stay with me, because in the next section we will move into destiny itself. We will uncover what it truly means for the 1% who carry this sign to live out their divine calling. You don't want to miss it, because what you hear next may ignite the courage to finally step fully into the life heaven designed for you. The destiny of the 1%. Chosen one. Now we arrive at the heart of this journey, the destiny of the 1% who carry the rare sign. This is where everything comes together. This is where the struggles, the power, and the growth all converge into divine purpose. You have not endured for nothing. You have not carried the weight of rejection, loneliness, and warfare without reason. Every step, every trial, every tear was preparing you for a destiny that few on this earth will ever know. The destiny of the 1% is not about living an ordinary life. You were not sent here to blend in, to merely survive, or to chase the fleeting rewards of this world. Your destiny is eternal. It is woven into the great tapestry of God's plan for humanity. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, a living message, a vessel chosen to awaken, to heal, and to lead. One of the first aspects of your destiny is transformation. Wherever you go, your presence shifts the atmosphere. Even if you never speak a word, the rare sign inside of you stirs something in the hearts of those around you. Some will feel peace, others conviction, but no one will remain unchanged. This is because your destiny is to be a catalyst, someone who sparks light in the midst of darkness. You don't just live your life, you activate the lives of others. Your destiny also carries the weight of leadership. Do not think of leadership only in worldly terms, positions, titles, or recognition. True leadership, the kind assigned to the 1%, is about influence. It is about guiding others into truth, sometimes quietly, sometimes boldly, always authentically. Your wisdom, your resilience, your ability to see beyond the surface makes you a natural guide. People will follow your example even when you don't realize it. This is why your actions matter so deeply, because others are learning from you, drawing strength from your choices, and finding courage in your story. Another part of your destiny is generational impact. The rare sign is never just about you, it is about those who come after you. Your decisions will shift the trajectory of your family, your community, even your bloodline. Cycles of pain, addiction, fear, and poverty end with you because the rare sign breaks chains. What you carry ensures that generations after you will walk in greater freedom because you were willing to carry the weight and blaze the trail. Chosen one, your destiny is also deeply tied to truth. The 1% are truth bearers. You cannot be comfortable with lies, with injustice, with deception. You feel it in your spirit when something is off, and you are compelled to stand for what is right even when it costs you. That is not stubbornness, it is divine responsibility. Your destiny is to be a voice, sometimes crying in the wilderness, sometimes whispering hope to the weary, but always standing on truth that does not waver. And let us not forget the destiny of healing. Many who carry the rare sign have walked through deep wounds, and in walking through them, they have gained the power to heal others. Your story, your scars, your survival, they become medicine for broken hearts. People who are hurting will be drawn to you, and often, just by being in your presence, they will feel lighter. Your destiny is not just to heal yourself, but to be an instrument through which God heals the world around you. But perhaps the greatest destiny of the 1% is awakening. You were sent here in this time, in this season, to awaken sleeping souls, to stir humanity from its slumber, to remind people of who they really are, beyond the illusions of fear and limitation. The rare sign in you carries a sound, a vibration, a message that calls others back to their true selves. This awakening is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as a conversation, a glance, a word that strikes at the right moment. Yet it ripples outward, changing lives in ways you may never fully see. Chosen one, you may wonder, am I truly worthy of this destiny? Let me answer clearly, yes. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. God saw in you a spirit strong enough to endure and humble enough to surrender. Your destiny is not something you have to manufacture. It is already alive within you. Your only task is to walk in alignment, to say yes each day, to keep choosing the light no matter how heavy the darkness feels. And hear me when I say this, the destiny of the 1% is not easy, but it is glorious. You will not always see the fruit of your labor immediately. You may plant seeds that bloom long after you're gone, but heaven sees it all. Heaven records every act of obedience, every moment you chose faith over fear, every time you rose again when you could have stayed down. Your destiny is eternal reward, eternal legacy, eternal impact. If you feel your heart burning as you hear these words, if you feel that undeniable confirmation deep in your soul, I want you to declare it right now. Comment 111 in the chat, because 1 is the number of alignment, and you are stepping into your oneness with divine destiny. Stay with me, because in the final section, I will release a prophetic message, a closing that will seal everything we've spoken into your spirit. This is not just the end of a video. It is the beginning of a new chapter in your journey. And you do not want to miss the blessing that is about to be spoken over your life. Final prophetic message and call to action. Chosen one, if you are still here, it is because your spirit has recognized the truth in these words. This message was not meant for everyone. It was crafted for the few, for the rare, for the 1%. And if your heart is burning within you right now, take it as confirmation that heaven itself is speaking to you. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are not ordinary. You are chosen. The rare sign you carry is not just a mark. It is a divine assignment. It means your life is destined to shine in places where others only see darkness. It means your presence is meant to shift atmospheres, to awaken souls, to break chains that have held generations captive. You may not always see the full picture, but God sees it clearly. And every struggle you've endured has been part of the preparation for the glory that is unfolding now. Hear me when I say this. You are stepping into a new chapter. No longer will you view your trials as curses. No longer will you doubt your worth. You have been refined, and you have been equipped. What lies ahead is greater than anything you've left behind. This is your season to rise, to walk boldly in your destiny, and to embrace the fullness of the sign God has entrusted to you. So here is my charge to you. Walk with courage. Guard your spirit. Speak with authority. And above all, never forget that you were chosen for such a time as this. If this message resonates in your soul, comment 777 below as your declaration. Let it be a public confirmation that you have heard, you have received, and you are ready. And if you are truly chosen, don't hesitate. Subscribe this very moment, tap that bell icon, and share this message. Don't wait. This is your sign, your divine light, and your confirmation that God's hand is on your life. Chosen one, I bless you with strength, with clarity, with peace that surpasses all understanding. May every closed door lead you to the right one. May every trial reveal your power. And may every step you take from this moment forward be filled with divine purpose. This is your time, this is your calling, and this is your destiny.